Hi boys and girls, this is the cursive practice for Friday. So we're learning a few new letters here. Our first one starts with S. So you can see that it's kind of two motions here. It starts at the bottom, goes up to the middle, straight down to the bottom again, but you hook over and connect it to your original line, and then you swing it back out. Almost looks like a little sailboat. So you start at the bottom, bump the middle, down, up to your line, and over. Up, down, over, and swing back over. The S is actually one of my favorite cursive letters. I just like the way that it swings. So let's practice a few on our own. Straight line up, down, over, and over. And it swings out so that you're ready to connect it to that next letter. And it starts here so that when it comes from another letter, you can start swinging it right back up. As we know, all cursive letters can connect. For example, down here we have the word C. So we'll trace it first. E, E. Try it on our own. You guys can do all the examples here. For the sake of your time for this video, I'll just show you kind of the basics. So the S connect to the H and to the E to spell she. And that's how the S looks like. So now the R. The R is one of those letters that doesn't really look a lot like its letter in normal handwriting. So it starts at the bottom, goes up to the middle, a little loop over, and down. So it goes up with a little loop, down and over. Up, little loop, down and over. I'll practice down here, up, little loop, down, over. So the thing with cursive is that it's really important to tell what line you're bumping with so that you don't bring this all the way to the top. Just remember that it stops right there in the middle, just like that. Okay? So then this goes from the R to the A. So it goes up, over, down, and swings right up into our A. So R, A, R, A. And then R-U-T to spell rut. Hopefully you guys are enjoying doing cursive on your own. It's a really fun thing to learn. It's actually great for me to learn too because I haven't really gone through cursive since I was in younger elementary school around your age 2, because they just don't really teach it anymore. So the K looks a little crazy, but it's actually a lot like a normal K. For example, if we were to see what a K looks like, they're very similar, except you can see that it has a little loop. So it goes all the way up, all the way down, loop, and out. So again, that's all the way up, all the way down, make the loop, down and out. So the loop is probably the hardest part. So just remember, you never pick up your pencil or your pen. It stays connected, so trace all of them if that will help. Again, just to save you guys time, I kind of just breeze through the cursive. If you need the guidance, you can pause it. Okay? So then on your own, okay? Then down here, we're connecting the K to the O. So up, down, loop, and O. It's really cool as you start to practice more and more letters so that you can make more words. Just because as you can put your skills to the test when you're connecting a letter to letter to letter to start forming words that you know how to write in normal handwriting, it gets kind of exciting. So kit. It almost kind of looks like a little capital R below a line, which is a funny way of looking at it, but oops. Kit. So then the J is very similar to the Y, or just a regular J actually. So to trace this first one, we start here, go up to the middle and down, then loop right out, and then you dot it. So this is very similar to the Y, but of course we have to dot our J's. And remember, with cursive, you don't dot or cross your T's until the end, just because we don't like to pick up our pencils or pens until the end. It's kind of the whole point of cursive, to have it be one flowing motion. You can see that with J. And our word here is jug. Jug. So you can see how I didn't dot the J until the end. So it's good for you guys to practice doing the same exact thing. Jug. Okay, so on to our capital letters. And again, these are optional. I'll just go through a few in case you need the help. So you start at the bottom, zing it up to the top, and you touch the top, you curl it, and come down to the bottom. You cross over that first line that you made, and then you cut back. So that was a lot. Hopefully you are tracing or practicing with your computer right in front of you. Swing around, over, and out. So a lot of the times with capital letters, you end up going left to right, but then cutting back to the left, which you can kind of see in this motion here. So up, curl, and the curl is above the middle line, so make sure that your curl is not down below. Those are the important things to notice with cursive, because if you accidentally mess that up, it might change really what letter you're forming. So curl, over and back, over and back. Okay, and I'll do a few on my own. So up, with the little curl, over and back, over and back. And if you feel like you might be getting more and more off the letter or not maybe making it how you should, just go back and trace back over if you need to. That always helps. Our letter R. So our letter R, we actually start at the top. There's a little spot here, a little line that goes up, and then you go down, around, and kick it out. This one should be pretty simple because it really just is a normal capital R. Just making sure that you have this little line in the beginning, and then you're kicking it out at the end, ready to connect it to whatever letter is coming next. So on our own, you can see that the dots for where you're supposed to start are a little below that top line, and that's because they want you to make that little curved line. And out. And out. So that's the capital R and the capital S. Then our capital K and our capital J. So K has that same little line that's below. You can tell by the starting dot. So it kicks up. And then it's pretty much just a capital K. So you go up and down. You can pick up your pencil or pen to do that top part. Just basically a capital K. The important thing to notice with this one as well is that it starts below that top line, just like the R. That's all you really need to pick up on for the K. And then J really just looks like a giant G that curls down, which is kind of funny because it's supposed to be a J. So you start here at the bottom and you make kind of a backwards D, but then you go below the line and then loop back up. So again, you curve it all the way to the top and make that backwards D, loop down and curl it. So you're kind of making a backwards D, but then turning it into a G. Okay? And you can practice on your own down here. Backwards D and curl. 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 All right? All right, boys and girls, that's our last letter for cursive. Happy Friday. I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you next week.